And I don't know where I am, I don't know where I've been, but I know where I want to go. And so I thought I'd let you know. Yeah, these things take forever, I especially am slow. But I realized that I need you, and I wondered if I could come home. Remember the time you drove all night just to meet me in the morning? And I thought it was strange, you said everything changed. You felt as if you just woke up. And you said, this is the first day of my life. I'm glad I didn't die before I met you. But now I don't care, I could go anywhere with you, and I'd probably be happy. So if you wanna be with me, but these things there's no telling, we just have to wait and see. But I'd rather be working for a paycheck than waiting to win the lottery. Besides, maybe this time it's different. I mean, I really think you like me. This is the first day of my life. Swear I was born right in the doorway. I went out in the rain, suddenly everything changed. They're spreading blankets on the beach. Yours is the first face that I saw. I think I was blind before I met you. And I don't know where I am, I don't know where I've been, but I know where I want to go. And so I thought I'd let you know. Yeah, these things take forever, I especially am slow. But I realized that I need you, and I wondered if I could come home. Remember the time you drove all night just to meet me in the morning? And I thought it was strange, you said everything changed. You felt as if you just woke up. And you said, this is the first day of my life. I'm glad I didn't die before I met you. Settle down with me, cover me up, cuddle me in, lie down with me and hold me in your arms.
If everyone could please rise for the bride.
Your heart's against my chest, lips pressed to my neck. I'm falling for your eyes, but they don't know me yet. And with a feeling I forget, I'm in love now. Kiss me like you wanna be loved. You wanna be loved. You wanna be loved.
giving this woman away.
and I'll be your safety.
Yes, sir.
Welcome to the family.
Good evening. It is my pleasure to welcome you all to the first and last Plead the Smith Union. I am honored to be able to be a small fraction of an eternal bond. I hope that when we all leave here, we can find a love like the one we are here to celebrate, or at least renew the love that we have already been blessed with to get back to how we feel on this day for this beloved couple. I have known the bride and groom for a few years. There are many in here who have known them much longer and know them much better. However, I'm sure everyone in here will be able to agree. I see both sets of parents, and I want to publicly thank you all because your children have been a blessing to many of us here, but especially to my wife and I. You all have done well, and I am so pleased that you get to witness your children in the happiest moment of their life, and we thank you. Now we will have a scripture reading by Julie and Victor.
Love is patient. Love is kind. Love does not envy and it does not boast. It is not proud.
El amor es paciente, es bondadoso. El amor no es envidioso, no ni jactancioso ni orgulloso.
It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered, and it keeps no record of wrongs.
No se comporta con rudeza, no es egoísta, no se enoja fácilmente, no guarda rencor.
Love does not delight in evil, but it rejoices in the truth.
El amor no se deleita en la maldad, sino que se regocija con la verdad.
It always protects. It always trusts. It always hopes. It always preserves.
Todo lo disculpa, todo lo cree, todo lo espera, todo lo soporta.
Love never fails.
El amor jamás se extingue.
Thank you. Many people look forward to a wedding their entire life and end up ignoring the marriage. The first advice I want to give is the work starts when you two leave here. We will all go home full of food and maybe even alcohol, but just don't let me see it. But we will leave you two all alone. If y'all are like me and my wife on our wedding day, that's probably exactly what y'all will want once this is all over. However, simply because you all will be physically apart from us, it is my duty to ensure that myself and everyone here is to help your bond grow and stay as strong as it has ever been. I have heard when you don't know your history, you are intended to repeat it. But I also think knowing your history can impact who you will be tomorrow. So, I think about this young lady I met when I was working at MD Anderson. I walk into the break room and there's this quiet, shy, delicate lady sitting there. And on the other side was Nova. The first time I met Nova, we hit it off. She loves sports and so do I. We started talking about fantasy football in our leagues that we were in. Then it went to fantasy bachelor and bachelorette. Sad to say I didn't participate in those. For those who know me, it's only so long I can talk before I start digging into your life. I mean, hey, I'm a minister. I'm emotional. What can I say? So as time goes on, I hear about what is the word I'm looking for? The losers that she dated. And I shared my stories also, and we quickly became like brother and sister. Unfortunately, I saw her cry through some frustrations of life as we continued to build our friendship. I will never forget the day I came to lunch and she had a different smile, a different glow, and she told me about this guy named Jarrett Smith. She said they met on Tinder, and I was like, oh, Lord. Let me call Mark and tell him to be on the lookout for his little sister. I'm not going to lie, I had heard so many Tinder tragedies that I was skeptical. So they went on a date and things, and she was so happy. She was like, oh my God, he looks just like J.J. Watt. And he had a sports injury from tennis, and Nova's a sucker for those. So they're getting serious, and I found out more about him, so I could stalk him, of course. I found out he was a teacher at a school where I knew the principal very well. So I was like, okay, if he messes up, I'll get him fired. I'm just saying. Earlier I mentioned how I had to endure the times that Nova cried, but I will never forget the last time I saw her cry. It was her and Jarrett's 1-year anniversary, and he made a movie or like video thing on all his wonderful Apple products, and she was showing everybody. I will remember when she teared up, and I was like, those tears are so different than the ones you used to shed before that moment. I knew what he meant to her. And then I met Jarrett. We also hit it off. He's very witty, which I appreciate, and he accepted my LeBron James love and Jay-Z quotes and all of that. I also realized why Nova loved him, because he's as genuine as they come. He is intelligent, he's sweet, he's kind, and of course, he looks like J.J. Watt. Why do I say this? I say that to say when times get hard, remember the time you swiped right. Remember the time you put on a fake elbow sleeve just to make your wife smile. Remember the time you watched that video of your anniversary, and remember when you knew this is different. I have finally found love. Many clergymen get up here and they grab a ring and they say this love has no ending or no beginning. I kind of agree with that, but I believe love started on Calvary when Jesus sacrificed himself for mankind. What is love? There are many opinions out there. Zach Brown says, every little smile, every single touch reminds me just how much it all makes loving you easy. Beyonce says, baby, I love you. You are my life. My happiest moments weren't complete if you weren't by my side. You're my relation and connection to the sun with you next to me. There's no darkness I can't overcome. You're my raindrops. I am a seed. With you and God, who's my sunlight, I bloom and grow so beautifully. King George says, I cross my heart and promise to give all I've got to give to make all your dreams come true. In all the world, you'll never find a love as true as mine. And LeBron James says, I'm just kidding. There are a lot of beautiful love quotes out there and examples of it. I really like many, but for today I will go with Genesis 2:22 through 24. Then the Lord God made a woman from the rib he had taken out of man, and he brought her to the man. The man said, this is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, for she was taken out of man. That is why a man leaves his father and mother and is united to his wife, and they become one flesh. I believe love is when your life becomes meaningless because you have given it to someone else, and now their life is the most important thing to you in the world. Both of you have professions that are not appreciated nearly as much as they should be, but now you have a person that believes in you and thinks you are the best thing this earth has to offer. I'm reminded of Winston Churchill, but I want to tweak his quote a little in my closing as I turn the page. He stood up on June 4th, 1920, before the Battle of France and spoke to Parliament. He was speaking of war, but I am speaking of love. That is the will of husband and his wife. Jarrett and Nova will be linked together in their cause and in their need. They will defend to their death their undying love, aiding each other like good spouses to the utmost of their strength. Even though the world seems to be falling away from love minute by minute, and many old and famous people have fallen or may fall into the grip of hatred and all the odious apparatus of vileness, they shall not flag or fail. You shall go on to the end. You shall love in pain. You shall love as deep as the seas and the oceans. You shall love with growing confidence and growing strength, as endless as the air. You shall defend love at whatever the cost. You shall love on the beaches where you ask her to be your wife. You shall love on the landing grounds of your vacation planes. You shall love in the fields and in the streets. You shall love in the hills and the valleys. You shall never, ever surrender your love. Love until hell freezes over. And when that happens, love on the ice. And if, which I do not for a moment believe, that this union in love be subjugated and starving, then your family and friends on land and beyond the seas, armed and guarded by the power of God, would carry on the struggle of that love, until in God's good time, the new world, with all its power and might, steps forth to the rescue and the liberation of the thing we call love. Now we will have the vows. Jarrett Smith, please repeat after me. I, Jarrett Smith,
I, Jarrett Smith,
take you, Nova,
take you, Nova,
to be my lawfully wedded wife,
to be my lawfully wedded wife,
my constant friend,
my constant friend,
my faithful companion,
my faithful companion,
and my true love from this day forward.
and my true love from this day forward.
In the presence of God,
In the presence of God,
our family and friends,
our family and friends,
I offer you my solemn vow
I offer you my solemn vow
to be your faithful husband
to be your faithful husband
in sickness and in health,
in sickness and in health,
in joy and in sorrow,
in joy and in sorrow,
and in life as well as in death.
as in life as well as in death.
I promise to love you unconditionally,
I promise to love you unconditionally,
to honor and respect you,
to honor and respect you,
to laugh with you and cry with you,
to laugh with you and cry with you,
and to cherish you,
to cherish you,
both in this life and in the next.
both in this life and in the next.
Nova, will you repeat after me? I, Nova Sprague,
I, Nova Sprague,
take you, Jarrett,
take you, Jarrett,
to be my lawfully wedded husband,
to be my lawfully wedded husband,
my constant friend,
my constant friend,
my faithful companion,
my faithful companion,
and my true love from this day forward.
and my true love from this day forward.
In the presence of God,
In the presence of God,
our family and friends,
our family and friends,
I offer you my solemn vow
I offer you my solemn vow
to be your faithful wife
to be your faithful wife
in sickness and in health,
in sickness and in health,
in joy and in sorrow,
in joy and in sorrow,
and in life as well as in death.
and in life as well as
In death.
in death.
I promise to love you unconditionally,
I promise to love you unconditionally,
to honor and respect you,
to honor and respect you,
to laugh with you and cry with you,
to laugh with you and cry with you,
and to cherish you,
and to cherish you,
both in this life
both in this life
and in the next.
and in the next.
Can Jarrett please have the ring? Jarrett, repeat after me as you place this ring on Nova's hand. With this ring,
With this ring,
I thee wed,
I thee wed,
and with all I am
with all I am
and all I have,
and with all I have,
I honor you.
I honor you.
May Nova please have this ring?
She has it.
Okay. Sorry. Nova, repeat after me. With this ring,
With this ring,
I thee wed,
I thee wed,
and with all I am
and with all I am
and all I have,
and all I have,
I honor you.
I honor you.
The part we've all been waiting for. Jarrett, do you take Nova to be your lawfully wedded wife after God's ordinance in the holy estate of matrimony?
I do.
Nova, do you take Jarrett to be your lawfully wedded husband after God's ordinance in the holy estate of matrimony?
I do.
Had me nervous. By the power invested in me by the state of Texas, I now pronounce you husband and wife. You may now kiss the bride. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you for the first time, Mr. and Mrs. Jarrett Smith.